Hello, my name's Matt. Welcome back to the 90 Day Teacher channel. If you're an athletic director or a head of P like I am, then I'm really excited to show you this coaching hub. What you're looking at right here is a one-stop shop for everything that you need to manage your teams. This is something that I just developed in Google Docs, and over the last couple of years it's developed into a program whereby all my coaches have their own page for their teams, and it's really easy to see an overview of all of the activities that we offer, as well as having some really cool buttons at the top. So let's dive straight into it, and I'll show you how you can make your own from scratch, or you could adapt this template to suit your needs. Having been lucky enough to have 3.5 years experience as a head of P in England and now a couple of years as an athletic director in Canada, it's really apparent to me that no matter where you are in the world, if you're in the amazing position to be leading an aspect or your entire physical education department and running your athletic programs, there are a lot of games to manage. And while there are some big expensive programs out there that our schools can buy into, I've actually found a way that I can manage everything in one go in Google Docs for free, and it's really working well for us right now. The greatest thing, of course, being that it really does save me so much time. And time in teaching is really, really valuable. Instead of coaches coming to me to ask all those small questions about their matches, they're able to go to the hub to access all of that information. Now, this has taken me a little bit of time to perfect over the last couple of years. So what I've done is taken all that learning and built a template for you. That is linked under this video. For those of you that are able to, please use it. And from everything that you learn in this video, you will be able to adapt it to your school. And I'm excited for you to get your own hub. If you're not able to, no problem. Look at every concept in this video, and there's absolutely no reason why you can't go straight into Google Docs and build your own. The first big thing that I want to share with you about the Coaches Hub that makes it so special is buttons and using links within Google Docs to bring everything into one place. I'm going to show you, for example, for all these tabs, we can see that buttons are already made. For this one, I left it off boys rugby. Now, it's really difficult sometimes to be scrolling through all these tabs down the bottom. And I know we can use this little part on the left and scroll down here, but for me, that just wastes extra time. So creating a button for all of my sports and coaches makes it really easy to navigate into a sport and then back out of a sport via the hub. So this is really easy. I click in the box that I want to link, and I go up to this part at the top, insert link, and down here I can select sheets and named ranges. So this shows all of my tabs that are in my document. I can see there boys rugby, and I'm going to click tick. Now that creates a little bit of a formatting difference, so I'm just going to copy this scenario and turn it back into that color. Now once I've done that, that becomes a button. It takes me to the page, so Graham Try, my rugby coach, can come straight into here and see all of the games for that team. I've just populated a few random ones in here for us. You might recognize some of the teams and places, but this is that page for that team. And I can use buttons for lots of amazing things. As I mentioned, I've got a button to go back to the hub to make it easy for people. Once I'm in there, for each page, I can create new buttons. So I might click on this rules document, for example, and insert a link of something else in there for them. On the main page in the hub, buttons are really important. So not only can we navigate between pages, but we can insert really important documents that are going to help your coaches. Included in the template are templates to some of these links. For example, I have a coach's checklist. So if I click on that on a game day, my coaches know that they have a few things to tick off before the game day and on a game day if it's an away driver. I can put anything in this document that makes it really easy for them. And I also put a link back to the hub in there. Similarly, at our school, I have a button here to the team rosters page. You'll recognize some of these names. They're not my students at my school, but this page we use for rosters to keep a track of who's in what team. And we use this in our school for things like messaging groups and emails out to the squad. However your school communicates, you will be able to use this rosters tab to keep a track of who is in each of your teams. And a neat little feature in this one that I decided to do is to highlight these athletes. So in the NFL, Adrian Peterson actually is an EpiPen athlete. I managed to find that out. But let's just say Zinedine Zidane here had a medical concern that we wanted to be worried about. I can highlight these for my coaches, which is really nice. Other things at the top that we can do with buttons is, for example, on this one, I created a little video. So there's a little aspect at our school where we have to communicate to families via an email system in our school. It could be anything that you want to, but I linked in a little video here so that I can actually speak to my coaches. Hello coaches, it's Matt, your athletic. Now the thing I love about this is for those questions that I get of how to do this, I need to answer that once in a video, and then it's simply linked in the hub. So you can create as many buttons as you want. You can see here there's a space. We have a link up here to our extracurricular schedule. Buttons are really amazing. The last little thing I'll share on buttons is within a team page. So not only have I got these great things above the top, but if I go back into my rugby team here, I can link in for each match. Often, sometimes we might play in a tournament or an event, and the event organizer is going to send me the details for that tournament. For this example, I'm just going to go and find a website, which is the Bath Rugby one. I can copy the link to that tournament, document, results tournament, website, whatever it is, and then I can just come back into here and I can link it in exactly the same way. That way, it's really easy for my coaches to know and have access to everything that they need, tournament draws, results. Sometimes these are even live documents. And so we can end up with some links in here to each game. At times, let's say we're booking a bus and they've given me a bus reservation, I would even be able to link in that bus reservation here. Again, to minimize the amount that I need to do and problem solve, and to give the power over to coaches to make everything much more efficient. So that's buttons, and we love it. The next thing I wanted to share is design. How do you go from having something like this to getting your own coaches hub like this? Well, you can definitely download the template to get a big head start, but if you are starting from scratch or you're adapting this for your own school needs, there's some important things to know in terms of keeping the look nice and clean. You'll notice from this that the buttons are nice and big. It's laid out clearly on a laptop screen, ready for people to be able to scroll down and see at a glance with all of my coaches' names. There's even some really cool emojis in there. Some big things that I want to point out for that is the importance of the merge buttons. So if I look at this situation and I've got a few grouped together, it's really easy for me to go up to merge cells right now and create a slightly bigger box. Now, once I've done this, I might cheat a little bit and do a Control-C for copy and a Control-V for paste and start creating some of these buttons to go across. If I then give it a little bit of a color, I can start to see how my hub starts to take shape. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of a border, and already it's starting to look a little bit more like that coach's hub. You'll notice that down the side I had fall, winter, and spring in terms of our seasons that we run here. And if I merge that and start typing in, I can very quickly manipulate text up here to be facing a different direction, increase the size of that font, and bring it into the center to make it look nice. I always find that the design and the look is going to make things a lot easier for everyone. As soon as I'm here, I can start making buttons and make it look a lot more like this in terms of design. Another neat little design feature that you might spot are these emojis. I find it just brings a little bit more cheer to it. And I use this for other things in teaching, like email headers and things like that, just to grab the attention. And how I do that, if I look at this box, is I actually have a Chrome extension called Joy Pixels. And I can search anything in here. Sport, I could go for a boomerang, a yoga pose, and a roller skate. And that's now copied. And I'm able to say Control V and send that in there, which is really great. So all you actually have to do to get that is to Google emoji keyboard by Joy Pixels. You can see it's already attached to my Google Chrome here if you use that. And it's just an easy extension that pops up on the top. Another quick little thing that you'll see in the hub is a data validation. I'll show you how that works really quickly. We'll go back to our boys rugby tab. Now, I often book transport, and you can see that it's really easy for me to toggle which transport has been booked with a yes, no, or an NA. Once I've created this once, I can just drag it down and replicate it for lots of cells. But let's say that it's not there and it's not on your page and you're making this your own. To do this, you're going to go up to Data, and you're going to go to data validation. Now, what I do from that is I just choose between a list of items. So I could type in here yes, and then I can separate any options in the list that I need with a comma. Let's just type in there hello so you can see the difference. And then once I've done that, I can click save. You'll then see the little arrow appear, and I've now got that list ready to go. I did a little conditional formatting, which you can look up how to do on the colors, but essentially we can create easy little data validations for anything that we have in the hub to again take away the variance and keep things a little bit more consistent. And that is pretty much it. It is an amazing tool. I absolutely love using it. And I am going to show you, if you do click the link below and grab the template for your own hub, how to just do some little easy manipulation. So do watch the rest of the video. If you want to see that, I'll be pretty efficient. But if you do just want to go out there and make your own hub, please do write in the comments. I really love this. I think it's such a valuable tool. So if you've got any questions as you're manipulating the template or making your own hub, then please write them in the comments. But I'll just show you a few things on how you can change the template really easily and really quickly. Okay, so here I am. I've got the template and I just need to adapt it to my school and what I have. So I'll show you a few easy things that you can do to do that really quickly. For example, let's say one of these buttons or any of them, you don't have that sport or that activity in your school. Let's take boys rugby. We don't offer it, but we do offer maybe a gymnastics program. So let's change that to gymnastics. And you'll see that as I do that, I type that in, it's taken the button away. That's not a problem. I'm going to go down here to the bottom, the one time I need to do this, and I'm going to rename that tab gymnastics just to keep it all looking good. Now, if I go back to the hub using that button that exists, I'm going to do what I showed you earlier, which is to go back in and make that button for gymnastics. I can use the format painter to just match the style for that team. Now, suddenly, it's a button ready to go. Once I get to my team page, I am just going to be able to adapt it to whatever I need. I can get rid of anything that I need to. All this information isn't going to be relevant for me. And then I am ready to go in terms of setting things up as I need them to. I could change any of these at the top. I could add in a column, for example, by clicking there and saying insert column to the left. I can do whatever I need to do to make this customizable and unique to myself. And as a reminder, on any of these pages, I can create buttons at the top for gymnastics rules, any great coaching videos. You really can have as much fun as you want to on each team page with anything that you need. Now, included in this are links to some default documents, such as the game day checklist. So you're able to edit this. It has the 90-day teacher logo in there right now, but you could go in, simply delete that, and add in your own logo into the header. And likewise, this might give you some inspiration in the checklists, but you can edit this to suit your school's needs, depending on how you do things and how you run various areas of your athletics and sports programs. Similarly, if I go back into the hub here, I can look at the rosters and coaches tabs. Now, obviously, none of these professional athletes, I don't think, are going to be in your school, but I can simply delete those. I can bring that back to all white, and I can update any of these headers at the top to reflect the programs that we run. And you can use any kind of indicator or key at the top. Maybe you don't need a medical button, but instead you are going to have a gifted and talented program at your school, or whatever it is. I can edit that, I can create that, and I can highlight those kids in pink. Whatever it is, you can edit this page for that. And similarly, the coaches tab down at the bottom, this is where I collect a lot of data for my coaches. It just makes it easier in an emergency where I need to grab someone's phone number or email for anything that I need. I ask my coaches to fill out this section, and we can insert any amount of information here. So column to the right, I could have in here coaching experience, and I could get them to write down what they've done. I can add any list to it, and you'll see that I've done a data validation drop down here with a yes or not yet. The reason I did that is because our school in Canada, it is the law to do a concussion training course in order to be able to coach. So in my school, I actually call this kind of the CAT training column, and staff are required to put in whether they've completed it or not, and it just gives me an opportunity to check. So again, the coaches page, you can make what you need it to be for your school. And remember, this really is yours to make your own. I can very quickly start to manipulate and change some things here to change the whole look of the coaches tab if I wanted to. It is your school, it's your needs, whatever you want to do to create it. I can remove buttons, I can add buttons at the top. And really it is a template for you to be as creative as possible to make your life easier, and more importantly, to make your coaches' lives easier so that we can enjoy some efficient and fun athletic programs. So I really hope that you have found this video really useful. Either it's inspired an idea for the way that you organize things yourself, or maybe you're going to take this template forwards and create your own hub. Whatever it is, thank you for watching to the end. I really do try and make teaching as easy and as time efficient because I think it helps a lot of people when we are. So feel free to write any comments. I love responding to questions if anything's come up as you're designing your own hub, and have a great rest of your day.